What's going on, everyone? It's your boy NeedsAdjustin, and this is In Theory podcast. And why don't we start with a brief introduction with all the members of the theory unit that we have here. Ladies first. Bubbles?
Yeah, Christian, go.
That's good.
Oh, lovely. And that's how we're going. It's not a shots fired stream. What? This is a podcast.
I think it could be a shots fired if you're brave.
Let's start, with introductions.
Yeah, I'm Bubbles. I don't know what else. What the hell is that?
You could tell us how you got into theory.
Oh, I know the owner.
Oh, sweet.
Don't even do that, Christian. Look at you. Just don't pretend you're just rubbing your eye out of here. No, we were part of a team, and then we left the team because we're like, eh.
Right on.
Here we are. We made a little group. Here we are. Yeah.
Christian?
I just wanted to be a part of a group that, one, that we're all friends, and then two, we all have the same goals, so we could reach those goals together, and then it kind of just came to be. So here we are. I'm Case, YaBoyCase. I stream on Twitch, trying to learn TikTok. It's horrible right now, but we're trying.
Oh, we're not even going to go into TikTok. Or actually, speaking of TikTok, we have our resident celebrity. ImSlisz. You want to hook us up, Austin?
Hi, everybody. I'm Sliz, affectionately known as Salty. I am the resident celebrity, as people like to label me as. No, I was a part of a team with Bubbles and the owner, Sever. And we kind of had a falling out with that team, decided to leave due to our own reasons, and decided to start a group of friends. Good friends. And here we are now.
I think that's a great introduction to our group, is that
I'm fucking awkward.
literally wanted to stream together, like
Yeah.
as friends, but there was no hard definitive numbers that we need to meet. We're all affiliates. We've been friends for quite a bit. Actually, you know what? How did we all meet? That's a good question.
Salty.
So,
Oh no, Salty should go last. No, just kidding. Yeah, Salty, you want to start with those
Salty
two
Sliz,
first?
Austin, whatever we could go by.
whatever
I'm going
y'all
by
wanna call
Salty.
me.
I'm calling him Salty.
Y'all can call me Salty. We're gonna start from the very beginning. So
I was
Back-
born August 12th, 1942.
no, back in high school, I met a young gentleman named Kyle who goes by RFD, and he ended up joining the military. I ended up joining the military, and through him, got to meet the owner, Sever, and then through them both, I got to meet Bubbles. And while Kyle was on deployment, or RFD was on deployment, I got to play games with Sever and Bubbles, and got to build more of a friendship with Bubbles. And I was streaming one day, and Bubbles and Case hopped into the stream, and we kind of began to bond, I guess you could say.
So that was on the old the Mixer.
And
Mixer, yep.
I was
Bubbles and I were drunk as shit trying to get Denny's DoorDash to us.
Oh yeah!
The man's name was something strange, and we
do
tried
remember
15
that.
minutes to get Salty to say the name, and he wouldn't do it.
You were playing some Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft.
on the
I
Xbox.
love Minecraft.
Yeah, bro.
My setup was so weird back then too.
I never thought I'd have 3 monitors, but here we are.
Exactly. And then I was the last portion of the group to come in, right?
Yeah.
And that's something completely faded. If you want to go into that, Salty.
I'll go into that. So I ended up meeting Justin by chance in a stream of Harris Heller. He's the owner and operator of Alpha Gaming on YouTube. So he was in a stream, and I decided to join his stream from his YouTube.
Music's playing in the background right now.
Yeah, music's playing in the background by Harris Heller, Senpai Records. So I ended up gifting 5 subs. This was at the very beginning of the pandemic. I was gifting so many subs to Harris Heller at that point in time, and I have no idea why. But somebody finally like whispered to me in Twitch, saying, "Hey, thanks for the sub," and I was like, "Oh, cool." And that person turned out to be NeedsAdjustin. And Justin was like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna have to dip out. I'm gonna go stream." I was like, "Oh, cool. Let me follow you over there." So I followed him over there to a stream, and we ended up chatting. And eventually, I got him into the friend group that we have, and he's never left and never looked back. Neither have I. So, he is the dad of Theory, and definitely all love him. So
I'm old man.
that is how NeedsAdjustin got into Theory. He's kind of the brain behind the whole deal. So
He's actually the one who
Oh,
came up
cranky
with the
man.
name In Theory for this podcast.
we'll look at
Ow,
that.
we all came up with
Um,
that.
Shout out. It was
no,
one
I
of those
think
things that all just kind of came together, It wasn't something that we
I gotta shut the door. I'm sorry.
Yeah, forced. It didn't feel forced.
it didn't.
I think that's the reason why.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I think that's the reason why we ended up forming this friend group and the streaming group and the team and this particular podcast is because it just felt natural.
Mhm.
It didn't feel like, oh, it needs to be like this and we need to reach this goal by this month and everything else. Which in turn, it took a little bit longer to start this podcast off there. I think all well and good. We're here now. We're making the content.
Man, I'd rather have like a nice laid back group,
Exactly. But speaking of content, that's a really good thing to talk about because I want to talk to. I think we need to talk to Salty and Case regarding content. I think they're a little bit ahead. Actually, no, and Bubbles. All 3 of you guys are way ahead of me in terms of content production and creation.
We have been doing what is less affectionately known as shit posting on TikTok since about October.
Oh, sweet.
It worked for you though.
It has definitely worked, but I'm trying to break out of my niche at the current moment.
That's hard
the
to do.
struggle, bro. That is the struggle. It's
And
like
that's the reason why I want to become a duet king on on TikTok. I
Just
don't
do that,
wanna-
everybody.
So it's always righty all the time.
Yeah. So where do you want to try to pick up on content? Like what kind of content we make?
I guess
or...
Actually,
where you started and how you got where you're at, right?
Yeah, because you're the one who's gone through all these different stages of content creation in reality.
My first ever video uploaded to TikTok was me. It was when Modern Warfare first released in 2019, and I was playing on this huge map, and I had a thermal AX50, and
You poor guy.
I sniped. Yeah, I sniped a dude off the back of this ATV, and he kind of like rode it for a little bit, fell off, and then shot up into the sky.
I remember that, bro. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was my very first video, and roughly around the time that I first started streaming.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's
It was so funny.
an old
Is
video.
it still there? Oh.
I
You
believe
gotta bring it up.
it's a part of ImSlisz Gaming.
Oh, like
on
an
Twitch.
old
Is it
account.
in your clips or no?
I don't believe I was streaming at that current moment, but roughly around the time where I first started streaming.
I understand.
My Xbox and whatnot. Yeah.
And you started on Twitch and then moved to Mixer and then went back to Twitch.
Funnily enough, I started on a super small broadcasting service called Caffeine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Justin was like,
caffeine.
What?
Caffeine. Gee.
These damn whippersnappers, I don't know what y'all talking
The only reason I know about caffeine, it was recently bought by a huge company and they're putting money into it. And then this dude for 2K, the marketing guy, streams on caffeine. So all the news for 2K gets broadcasted through caffeine.
Like they have a lot of celebrities on caffeine trying to bring attention to it, but it's weird.
it's really tough when you have something like Twitch out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to bring that traffic over.
Yeah, but I've
Mixer's biggest issue was that.
I went through like 3 accounts to try to get to where I am now.
What was
And-
that, Justin?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to respond to that comment about what Mixer's biggest issue was. I don't think it was the conversion rate. I think it was the retention. I think it was keeping people there. Like they literally thought that they could just throw money at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and then what happens with any startup that you just throw money at and you have no innovation, you have no creation, no like backbone,
Mhm.
it'll fall apart very quickly. What everyone was looking to have happen, or that should have happened at Mixer, was discoverability, because that's something Twitch has never been able to solve.
Mixer, fantastic discoverability, as I had pointed out,
100.
but it was just they would pop in
Yeah.
and not even just hey, they just pop in and go, oh, this dude sucks, and then leave.
Yep.
But Mixer would have been phenomenal if they would have just listened, and I don't believe that was Mixer, that was Microsoft.
The thing with Mixer is, like, my experience, everybody was way nicer than Twitch. Way nicer.
Way nicer.
It's like you didn't have somebody coming in talking shit on your stream, your setup, your quality, your gameplay. Like, everybody was just happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
whenever I
music.
was on there was a lot of people who were always like super nice, regardless to whether you're male, female, whatever race you were, whatever you identify as, anything like that. It was always like what I experienced was a lot nicer.
Then I
'Cause
must
there's
be
a lot of-
super lucky.
Well, like I've run into so many trolls because there's such a high quantity like of trolls that are in Twitch or on Twitch than it was on Mixer. So that
I
was
have
why.
only ran into one or two trolls ever, and you guys were there for that. The only 2 trolls I ever ran
wish.
into was when we were playing what?
Jackpot.
Call of Duty? Oh.
Oh,
Do you
oh,
remember that?
Oh yeah, I
The
remember that.
slurs, the anti-Semitism.
Well, dude, I feel like the only reason is there's a much bigger pool of people on Twitch than there was Mixer. So you add more people, you're gonna find bad ones in it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's actually a tangent that we should definitely touch upon. We'll definitely come back to content creation, but speaking of Microsoft making that huge mistake. with Mixer.
Discord, bro.
Exactly. Who's concerned?
I'm concerned.
Discord's
super
fine. Leave it alone.
Right.
My hope.
They just want to own everything.
My hope. Well, and there's no problem with that. Look at Amazon. Amazon owns Twitch. Everyone was scared shitless when Amazon picked up Twitch from Justin TV, and it turned out just fine. Whole Foods, expensive, but just fine. You know, all these different places seems to be okay because they get the basic concept of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, just support it, help make it better. I think Microsoft's issue has been for a long time, let's just revamp the whole thing.
My hopes and dreams for Microsoft acquiring Discord is for console integration.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that. And Xbox or Microsoft and Sony have been collaborating on a few things as of recent. I can't remember what they were. I just read Xbox and Sony working together on something.
They were working on cross-platform for the longest.
Yeah. So I'm super excited to see if they allow your friends on PlayStation to be able to talk to people on Xbox inside of like a party chat system that's worked in Discord.
Speaking
But you
of
should be able to.
PlayStation chat, I got a warning for comm abuse.
They're listening.
Yeah, I sent somebody on 2K a message. He was not good, and I told him such.
Therefore,
Therefore, such as got a warning.
Indubitably.
PlayStation, though, they're listening to everything.
Yup.
They keep logs of everything.
yeah, they do. I think this is where you're going to run into the problem, especially when it comes to Discord as a more now, during these times, widely accepted platform for communication, is when you accept, the way I think it should work in my mind is the app, since most of these consoles, these next-gen consoles, should be able to multitask, right? Have multiple apps open, such as Discord, and then you should be able to drop yourself into your friend's Discord server or create your own, and you all should communicate. And while that runs in the background,
The processors in these next-gen consoles are ridiculous.
I'm sorry, say it again.
The consoles, the processors are crazy. Like
That's what I'm saying.
There should be no
There's
issue.
no, you can't tell me that, oh, I can't handle it, there's too much going on. No. No. You know why? Because Google Chrome isn't running on a damn PS5. That's why.
They do have Microsoft Edge running on an Xbox. Because, I mean, the Xbox OS is a revamped Windows.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Mhm, yeah.
But speaking of Edge, you know Edge is essentially Chrome, right?
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's like one and the same thing. It's,
Yeah, they're both RAM hungry.
Mm-hmm. But going back to content creation and you taking the steps and you going from all the different places, what lessons could you share with the rest of us that you think would be detrimental to us creating content, us succeeding in that space? Aside from, I think what you said was breaking out of a niche, right?
Yeah, you don't want to box yourself into a corner of a specific kind of content like I have as of recent. And it's going to be super difficult for me to kind of get out of that content. For those of y'all not aware, I am used to be primarily a King of the Hill impressionist on TikTok, and people tag me in everything King of the Hill related. And it is just hard to kind of back away from that and focus on content that I personally would want to make. And it's going to be rough, and it's going to be hard to push past that, especially with the following that I've gained solely because of my content. Granted, I do have those supporters out there that are here for me. They're here for my content, whatever it may be.
For sure.
It's I'm definitely going to lose a bit of the following because I'm not, fitting the bill of what they followed me for. And I feel like that's just a part of moving forward at this point.
I think the recurring theme that you're kind of pointing to is diversify the content.
Most definitely.
Right. Whether
Indubitably.
that be on different, whether that be on different
Such as
platforms, whether it be of the content itself on the same platform. And I think that's, for me, that's where I made the transition. So for a lot of folks at home that don't know, I used to primarily be, a game streamer. And I switched with the help of actually my teammates here, after hard suggestions that I should do food streaming, and then so I took a stab at that, and it's actually working out pretty well.
You're turning out really good numbers with your food streams, BT dubs.
I try. Oh, you know what? We should talk about that too. I hide the numbers. I hide that. I don't know if you
I do
guys.
too.
I think it's a really big deal to hide the numbers.
It doesn't really bother me.
And for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, when you stream, there's a viewer counter that is visible on your whatever streaming platform you're using, whether that be Streamlabs OBS, regular OBS, so on and so forth. There's usually a viewer counter, and there's this big debate about whether or not you should be showing yourself how many people are watching you. I don't know about the rest of the team. I am very much a subscriber to the idea that I don't like seeing the numbers because it shouldn't matter. If I'm streaming to no one, my content should be exactly the same.
I would have to agree with that because before I took my hiatus from streaming, I found myself getting heavily caught up in how many people are watching and seeing people who are watching but not chatting.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting inside of my own head there for a minute, and a couple of times I was calling people out. Not
I
like
know that.
not
Should
aggressively.
Should not do that.
Yeah, I know this now. That seeing somebody in there and looking at the people who are in chat and going, "Oh hey, what's going on, so and so, blah blah blah," and them leaving because they're there to watch and they might be shy. So.
Yeah.
Or you have those supporters that are literally supporting you, where they're just they have your tab open and they're lurking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I think that tends to
I do
happen
that a lot.
quite a bit.
I think I'm the only one who doesn't have the thing turned off. Like it never really bothered me. I don't really pay attention to it,
You are very strong-willed, my friend.
Yeah, like I hide it because it's like, as Justin said, should be the same throughout. And it's like, and then a little bit of what Salty said was just like, it gets in my head, it shouldn't change. I just need to talk to myself. So it's like, it helps me focus on like no numbers, just do what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
You know how hard it is to talk to yourself? Like when you first
I do it all the time.
when you first start streaming.
Which is the reason why
Oh
I
my
don't do
goodness.
that. So
Oh my
even if
goodness.
it's 0 people, I'm always talking to the stream like they're a person. Like I don't talk to myself.
Right.
Well,
There's
yeah,
this
like,
fictional person that I'm speaking to, that I'm either teaching something to or showing them something in particular. Yeah, it's always as if it was a person. All my phrasing, all
Mhm.
my, yeah.
Yeah, you're really good about that. Like, when it comes to like not really talking to myself, it's talking about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Usually, if I'm playing like a game solo, I'm like, I'm gonna do this because fuck it, dude, or whatever. Like, that's how I just put it out there, not like full on talking to myself.
Getting in the habit
I do
is
that sometimes.
incredibly difficult. Incredibly. If you don't go into it, like you don't start with the mindset, you rely on people being there, like a multiplayer or something.
Mhm.
If there's all of a sudden there's no party chat, there's no game chat, then you got to make up that conversation. It's hard for a lot of people.
It really is. Like I'm such a social butterfly that I hate playing
pumpkin.
video games I hate playing video games without people, like without friends and whatnot, because there's that fear of not being able to just communicate.
That's how I feel too.
That's the reason why I wanted us all to pick up that Golf with Friends game. I love that game now.
That game's so fun.
Yeah, y'all are over here cheating, like hopping over walls.
Cheating?
Like, no, yeah, you're supposed to go with the putt
Hey,
putt.
hey, is it in the game? Is it?
Game.
Is it in the? It's in the game. I'm pretty sure. It's in the
Okay,
game.
bro.
Hackers.
Like the
I'm not,
invisible
like,
people in
writing
Warzone,
code.
bro. if they didn't want you to do it, they wouldn't make it possible. How about that? Stem glitching.
Yeah,
I fully understand what you're talking about in terms of like exploits and whatnot. I just thought it was funny because it's like a golf game, and it's like least
Like,
amount
get
of
outta here,
strokes
what are y'all
wins, and we're
doing?
over here like, oh, say last, dude.
Yeah,
Say
if there's a possibility for me to make it into the hole in one shot, I'm doing it.
Pause.
Bodies.
No, but like I like it when you can do it and just it's. I've only
Y'all
ever
be
done
going wild. Y'all had like 30 or 40 like.
30, 40 strokes just to get the one to go off.
I'm like just spectating. That was funny.
After this, we should definitely play some golf with your friends.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. We should definitely play that.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
talk
go
about it
ahead.
later. We'll talk about it later.
No worries. No worries. But in terms of content creation, Bubbles, you're on TikTok as well.
Yep.
And I believe you're in one of my YouTube videos.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, it was a really good one. And then
PTSD helicopter over here.
for real, helicopter, helicopter. You chop me up with the blades, man. It's not cool. And then, Case, you're on TikTok as well.
TikTok and Twitch.
Tiki tiki.
Yeah.
tiki-tock.
I'm trying
TikTok.
TikTok. You know, it's.
Do
Twitch talk.
either of you have any plans to diversify to different platforms anytime soon?
I'd love to get into YouTube. The struggle. I'm my own worst enemy with YouTube. Like, what's upload worthy, what's not upload worthy. You know.
Looking over at
Like-
Salty there.
I played a Warzone game, got 18 kills, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be good, right? And it, like, we didn't win, so it's like,
77th place.
right.
Yeah.
It's something I need to work on, you know. And then like Salty was saying, you know, if you like TikTok, if you get yourself into one particular thing with YouTube, it's really hard to get out of it, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, to break free of the niche.
Mhm.
Like
So I wanted a game plan, you know, for entry before I, you know, got there and had to dig myself out.
So, I had Jade, Bubbles. I had Bubbles, watch me edit a video and then give me, her feedback on.
Oh, critique. Ooh.
It's something that I've been liking to do as of recent when given the chance. And
Yeah.
I ran into a follower while I was playing Search and Destroy on Cold War.
Bro, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he didn't know he was following because he most likely followed me whenever I was still Denkill. And he was talking shit to me the entire game, being a troll. And then I told him to check out the page, and he was like, "What? I follow you?" And I was like, "Yeah, followed me and talking all this ish, you know?"
Awkward turtle.
Yeah. So, like, it was an awesome experience for me to, you know, run into somebody who follows me randomly. But then it was like I didn't feel like it was enough content to post. Like, even though that was an awesome experience for me, I don't feel like anybody else would give a shit about it, you know?
So, like, the only issue was like it was like a oh type thing, not a like a holy shit type thing, you know what I mean?
That's another thing I struggle with too, is like I don't have reactions like a lot of people, you know? So it's hard. And I never want to be in a position where I feel like I have to fake it either, you know? So
No, never fake it.
100%.
you know, it's a struggle. Like a lot of my TikToks don't have a face cam because I'll hit like some crazy snipe and I'll be like,
So, and
But
in retrospect,
yeah,
it
like,
almost looks
dab.
like it's fake. Like your facial expression doesn't match the gameplay. You know what? I have a clip like that. Have you seen that clip where I'm like on me and I hop off of an and this is in modern or Warzone. I hop off of an ATV. I shoot someone with a Car 98 that I had picked up from God knows where, and hit a headshot and down this guy. And it looks like the gap is super wide. Like it wasn't me. Like I was watching someone else play. It's the weirdest thing.
I get really into my game. Like I'll be sitting here trying to play. I'm like, bobblehead
What
over
does it
here.
look like?
I ain't doing that again. Play it back.
Yeah,
Rewind.
whenever I feel like that's just the issue with like being zoned in and not being in the mindset of like need a reaction for every kill. But when you're just zoned in, you're just mindlessly playing at that time. Or you're full I shouldn't say mindlessly because like your full attention is on the game and not providing that reaction causes what Christian is experiencing is that he's always just zoned in.
Yup.
Man, why you hyper focused, bro?
Yeah, hyper focusing.
I'm not like
I-
an emotional type person,
have an
bro. I don't get too high.
My
I don't get
chat
too high.
caught me doing that. I tell you guys, was freaking playing team fight tactics. I'm like doing my thing. I'm like talking to myself. I'm like, okay, if I take this off, I can add this together, and then this synergy should work out. It'll get me to this point. And then I look over and my chat's, what's going on? I don't know, but Justin's really focused. And I like it when he wins, but I don't know what's going on.
I like to give Captain K shit.
That's me when I
She's
watch
focused.
anybody play any
That's
sort
so
of
funny.
league. I'm like, I'm so like into what you're doing, but I have no idea what's happening. But
That's
go,
the
you
best.
can
It's
do
like,
it.
oh yeah, team, when you win, we celebrate. I don't know what's happening. I smile and nod.
Like, how did he not die?
I don't know.
What happened there? And they're just like, all right, cool. Well, we need to go back to mid. And I'm like, why do we need to go back to mid? What's going on?
Let's do it, team.
Oh,
Right.
no.
I watch people
Uh,
play like Dead by Daylight. I have no idea what's going on. I'm
Oh,
like, you're doing the things. And they're
Oh
like,
yeah, and they're talking about abilities. I was like, wait, there are abilities in this game.
Mhm.
I'm like, wait,
I've
certain
played it
people have
very-
abilities.
Briefly,
And then
like
my
different
favorite-
killers have different things.
Yeah, and then my favorite. Who's the person with the red lunchbox? What's that? What's that? They got a toolkit. What are they fixing? What is that? What is that?
hell.
I feel like that's such a niche community that I just don't feel
Is
like
it?
be able
It
to get
is,
into.
yeah.
Yeah, I was on DBD TikTok for a while. That's like I was just watching them literally. They call it like what is it like looping or like something where the killer's on them. Like you can see the killer's like point of view or not point of view, but like their light of where they can see, and the person's like literally going doo-doo-doo, and like it throws them off. I'm like, I tried playing this game and all I could do was run straight into the killer somehow, some way. And
And
I
then-
can't figure out the skill checks. I suck at those. I'm like, I'm just dead.
Yeah,
Leave me on the hook, you guys.
the smell. So running into him is just. It's like how? How did you do this? How did you let them into arm's reach?
I just don't know.
Crazy.
It's true. It's true. But going back to content creation, do any one of you have a particular, like, what got you into streaming? Like, did you watch someone? Do you have a particular
Oh God, I'll go
idol or role
first.
model?
So,
Okay. You go.
Yeah. So I played a lot of 2K growing up.
Oh, for the audience, what is 2K like? What is
A
that?
simulation basketball game.
Okay.
So I played a lot of 2K, and then I needed help like making my player, so I'd watch YouTube. So I started watching this dude Chris Move back in like 2008.
Oh God.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you were like 12.
Shut up.
So I watched Chris move, and I was like, man, that looks really cool, blah, blah, blah. I was finally in a position where I could start doing something. Streaming really didn't take off, so I was like, I'll do YouTube. Looking back, it was the most cringy, awful thing in the history of ever. The videos are still out there. I'm never giving it up, so don't spam me. It was interesting. So I got into that, and then I stopped doing that. Twitch started taking off, so I got into Twitch. My channel is actually the same channel from like 2014. So I streamed for a little bit, and then I didn't stream until last year, and I started streaming again. And then made a TikTok. Eventually, I resisted for the longest time. Then I made a TikTok and trying to grow there too. But that's how I got started. Oh, funny enough, I played Chris Smoove in a 2K game this year. Got my ass beat, by the way. It was funny.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
It was
you
funny.
got your ass handed to you by the person that got you started. Which actually makes sense if they're the person you really look up to.
Bro,
would
it
that
was
have
awful.
been? Would you have been super disappointed had you beat them?
Yes.
Oh, see.
You know, you always watch like YouTube videos and like TikToks, and you're like, man, I wonder if these guys are good, or are just like, are they just playing like people who are letting them win because they're
They're
famous?
just playing against bots.
Hell no, bro. This dude was crazy with it. I was like, bro.
Wow. What about you, Salty? Oh, and don't think I didn't see you. That humans make the crazy when they're fighting off a yawn. They don't want a full-on yawn. They make the craziest face. I think I think I saw Salty do it. I think so.
I've been like fighting the urge to nap today. So what got me into just content creation in general?
Yeah.
So back in the day, Black Ops 1 time there. They had this amazing thing where you could cut down clips inside of theater mode and have it uploaded to Call of Duty Black Ops Xbox YouTube channel. And it would take about an hour for it to get uploaded, and then you could go watch it.
Bring back theater mode, bro. Oh my god.
They have theater mode in Cold War now.
Oh, man, theater mode
Bring
was
back
legit.
theater mode on different games.
Well, wait, what? No, you can't just drop something like that. I don't understand. What happened?
What?
And they took theater mode
What's
out of
theater
Call of
mode?
Duty for the longest.
So, so hear me out. You know FaZe and Optic and all of these other big teams, right? So back in the day, how they used to be able to get their content for like montages and whatnot was,
What you mean?
yeah, they use theater mode, which is a built-in
Get those like
feature
crazy
that
angles
they-
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You
which
control
they-
like a bot, so you're not your point of view
Yeah,
is
no,
from
you
like
can control the
yeah.
camera. You can literally pick up and do.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, you're looking. It's like sandbox
Right.
style. You can just turn the whole game into a sandbox.
So that's theater mode, and you would be able to cut down your clips and have it uploaded, and there's still that channel's still up. So you can look and find Harris House 123 on Call of Duty Xbox, Call of Duty Black Ops Xbox YouTube channel, and find me hitting no scopes and my first ever 360 no scope.
Poggers.
Yeah.
Oddies.
Yeah. So that's initially like my first thing that I ever uploaded. And then I tried to work on my own montage, but it was so bad, and it was using like Windows Movie Maker. And it was terrible. I uploaded like my sniping montage so far, and it was legitimately just stitched clips. There was no sound besides the game sound, and there was no editing whatsoever. So it was just really bad.
Bro, back in the day though, that was the vibe. Like the commentary over the whole gameplay. You know, you play the game, you just have commentary over it.
Well, mind you that this was my parents still have this PC, right? It was a Windows HP from 2009.
And
2009. And it had 4 gigs of
That's all
RAM.
she did there.
It had a Pentium processor, which had dedicated graphics. And that
oh shit! Sorry,
Yeah.
I just realized what you just said. Dedicated graph. Damn, I sound like a gatekeeper right now.
yeah, it had 4 gigs of DDR3 RAM running at like 2600 megahertz, and it had a Pentium 3 processor. with the stock air cooler on it. It was meant for media consumption, if that. Yeah, it was phenomenal, and that's actually how I got into like watching YouTube and seeing all these different creators and wanting to get into content creation. But I grew up on that rural internet where we had like one up and like a quarter down, you know? So I didn't have, well, I had one down, not even a quarter up. So it was just fast enough for me to, you know, lag every minute and a half while playing Halo Reach. So from there, a creator that goes by the name Jake Fushi, who back in the day on Vine,
Vine
really inspired me to start making like my own personalized content. And I tried to become Vine famous there for a little bit, and it just never happened. But that's where it really started, was back on Vine. Was when I started making content.
Good old Vine,
Cool.
bro.
Cool stories, guys. What about you, Bubbles? How did you get in?
Well, mine kind of started off like I was just trying to show my friends like my point of view. Really, it was never like to be like, hey, other people come watch me. It was just like, hey, here, I'll put it up here because it's where it's available. You know, I was on Xbox. There's no Discord. It's easier now just to be like, hey, share your screen. But like, so I would just do that, and then like random people would come in. I had no camera, no nothing. It was just literally just my game, playing like Black Ops 2 or maybe Minecraft. I'm like, hey, I'll just do this. And then kind of was like on and off from there because it wasn't like I was trying to stream. Had like a couple people. I remember this one person, his name was like Taco something. I was like, he was always there. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like having that feeling of like, oh, hey, this person's coming to watch me. I'm like, I don't know who you are, but hi, you know? And then just like on and off for there for about a year. This is like, I don't even know. This is on an old channel. I had to kind of get rid of that for some personal reasons. But then I made this one that I have now. that's something I can talk to y'all like, you know, not now. And then I don't know, just like the idea of and the feeling like after talking to like the few random people who came through during that little randomness, I was like, you know what, I kind of want to stream. And like I always watched people. Like I watched Tim the Tapman.
Tim.
Like I watched him back, you know, when he was out here breaking his chairs, falling out of his chairs.
I love Tim. That dude's hilarious.
I love him.
Good old
Yeah,
That's
so
super
like
cool.
he's like one of the main people I'd watch. I didn't have anybody else I watched at the time, but now just it is what it is.
Quick poll: do you guys watch small streamers or bigger streamers when you watch Twitch?
Small.
Same.
A lot more small. If I happen to catch Tim streaming, I'll like have a tab up because watching them play Warzone like confuses me because like I rely on my teammates a lot. And here they are, just like, one's over here, one's over there, one's back over there, one's just getting out of gulag, landing on the stuff alone. I'm like, but mainly smaller streamers.
I kind of watch more of smaller streamers. I mean, I'll stick around in bigger streamers in their chat for a little bit while I renew my sub, but then that's about it.
No, I think that there's a lot to be said there. I want to change my answer because I think the initial question was, who do you watch? I watch larger streamers because I'm just watching. But who do I like to interact with? Love interacting with smaller streamers.
Yeah.
Love it. Why? Because there's no ego there. They're the best version of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, no. There's no ego.
You sometimes run across the people who are like...
I've ran into a few.
And you're like, okay.
Ego when it comes to interacting with the chat?
Yes.
Damn,
I
don't
have
wanna
run
catch the
into a
streamers y'all be
couple.
watching.
I'd be dipping out fast, bro. I ain't got time.
Like, I got my ass royally handed to me in a Bucks match of Search and Destroy on Cold War. And I go in here, man's been streaming for 6 hours, 0 people in chat. I'm like, hey man, good shots, good game. Hope to see you again, you know? 5 minutes goes by. And I see him looking over at his monitor and not responding. And I was like, hey.
Deuces.
And nothing. I was like, so do you not respond to chat? And he was like, I just don't have the time for it. And I was like, brother, you've been sitting at the for like 20 minutes right now. I don't understand what your issue is.
I wish someone would tell me that, bro.
I
So,
still have time.
At the time,
I'm
like,
sorry. Ow!
I watched him for like another 10 minutes to see if that was just like a front that he was putting on. And then he said a couple of slurs while on stream in game chat. And I was like, all right, you know, deuces. I reported his channel. I don't know if he's still here today or if he had to remake a channel from getting permabanned. But we just don't know.
Case, we're keeping that for the outtakes, right? What just happened with Bubbles?
I tried to hold a straight.
I just want to make sure.
Ow, that hurt.
So I guess it's my turn.
It will be on TikTok within the
My
hour.
turn.
Yeah, for sure.
That's rude.
I think my answer is a whole lot simpler than most. But before I forget, going back to the whole dedicated graphics thing, I'm very proud to say, as an old man, I have not had dedicated graphics since 2004. I was always rocking a video card of some sort for graphics since like 2005 onwards. And then every single time I always got really, really mad whenever I saw on that motherboard there's like an HDMI port. What the hell is this for?
You're not supposed to be connecting anything to that.
Do I have someone that got me to want to stream? I can't say. Oh, well, unless I count myself. This is gonna sound narcissistic as hell. The very first time I ever watched myself play something, and you guys have seen those YouTube vids, I was like, I was in awe, and I wasn't even talking back then. And you guys seen it? I'm like this, and I'm like concentrating, and I'm like focusing on playing whatever the hell I was playing. And then I started with League of Legends when I was streaming a bit more. But I never took the streaming seriously. It's just something to do while I played because I had the equipment strong enough or fast enough to do it. Never really considered content creation until the pandemic hit. Boy, nothing gives you some time to think about what you really want to do till you get negatively impacted by some pandemic, boy. It's not like, people like ourselves, we already spend a good amount of time indoors. But when you 100%, or at least 99.9% indoors and doing your thing, you get to really evaluate everything. And that's when I realized now I no longer make it for me. I make it for everyone else. Like I'm on there because before I was like really close friends with you guys, people said, you know what, I like your streams, or you know what, I'm glad I came by today. That aspect, and that's the reason why I stole the phrase that Salty gave me, where it's like father, friend, gamer, variety streamer that thrives off positive vibes. Yeah, that all came
That
from,
deserves your primes.
that deserve that. I'm so scared to ever throw that in. The reason why I stick to that now is I'm just that's very much the mantra. I think for me is just create the content that you would be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, can you look back honestly and look at all your VODs and say, I did what I set out to do. I brightened someone's day just by having them come by and saying what's up. Did you instill or imbue the positivity that you wish everyone had? Because I think that's why I started taking streaming seriously, is to be able to see firsthand how just by someone passing by and then you like interact with them, even though you're playing a game, you're interacting with them and you're connecting, is where they're like it could change someone's attitude, someone's mood. I'm about it. I'm very much about it. So that's why I started.
I like that way. Going off of your like connecting with people type thing, like for me, you also mentioned that like, hey, you're inside like 99.9% of the time. I already did that because I don't like going out. Rare occasions I would with YaBoyCase there, but you know we haven't done that in a long time.
Oh, for those
yeah,
of you that don't know, ImBubbles and YaBoyCase, they're together. They're actually a couple. They are partners.
Yeah. Oh, that's how me and him met, by the way. Yeah, go back to the very beginning there.
Because Christian was like, "Hey, girl, I like the way you play."
That's a whole different story.
He was just
for a
happy I
whole
played
different
games.
Day.
Okay, get off subject.
My
That's
God.
very odd. So, because it's not like you knew that ahead of time or met her online.
It was a
You were
big
out
deciding
there-
factor to ask her on a date. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm
They
sorry,
were
say that again?
Fox boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, to ask her on a date, it was a big part of it that she played games. I play a lot of games. And be like, "You're still on the damn game?" Hell no, chief.
Well, we technically
No.
did meet online, but that's a whole nother story too. What was I saying?
I like the fact that it's reversed now. Now that Christian mentions that, excuse me, that Case mentions that. I think I caught Case saying that one time about Bubbles. Damn, she's still playing that game.
Oh my God, this VR, bro.
Yo,
yeah,
this shit's so much
VR.
fun. There's Spider-Man Simulator. I'm over here like, I went like that.
I think that's where we should definitely end today's podcast, because VR is definitely a topic that we are definitely going to cover in the next coming weeks. In closing, does anyone have anything else they'd like to say before we end?
New episodes are every Wednesday. It'll be uploaded to YouTube, and we're going to expand to other platforms soon. We just wanted to get it out on YouTube, you know, and
Apparently, me hitting my legs going on TikTok.
it'll definitely be on TikTok within the hour.
Within the hour.
That's
Now
rude.
Now that's the kind of content energy that we all need right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Salty trying to be
Oh, wow.
serious.
Hilarious. Well, with that said, I'm NeedsAdjustin. This is In Theory podcast, and y'all have a good night.
Later.
Oh boy!
Stupid.
Stupid.
Get better, forehead.